get this party started.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the wildest, least subtle, and out of control films of the horror genre, regardless of quality. Spoilers ahead.
Groovy.
Number 10, The Wickerman.
Wow. The plot thickens. Didn't even know you had a plot.
No kidding.
Considering that The Wickerman stars Nicolas Cage, the movie is already over the top. This remake feels like Cage stumbled onto the set and did one take for each sequence.
Now why in the hell would you let them do a sick thing like that?
Gradually losing it, his cop character tries to understand the pagan origins of an island that gradually turns him insane. You'll never expect that a portion of the plot involves the actor running around in a bear suit. At every turn, this one-man wrecking crew yells his way through overly dramatic scenes.
Oh, no, not the beast! Not the beast! Ah!
There's also the fact that he becomes a human sacrifice at the end, burning down the entire story along with him. Number 9, The Happening.
This is scary, huh? Alright, let's hear some theories about why this might be happening.
In this M. Night Shyamalan film, plants start to fight back against the human race. This involves darkly absurd scenes such as someone jumping in front of a lawnmower. What could have been terrifying sequences end up becoming punchlines in a wacky movie. At the centre of it all, Mark Wahlberg tries desperately to give any of this horror story some legitimacy.
I wish you were here.
The script puts him in outrageous situations that include trying to reason with a plant. In other parts, the script forces Wahlberg and other performers to make sense of an increasingly confusing plot.
This was an act of nature, and we'll never fully understand it.
It's an unintentional comedy that manages to get people laughing more than it scares anyone. Number 8, Planet Terror.
They took the leg with them.
As one half of the Grindhouse double feature, Planet Terror doesn't set out to win any awards. It does, however, try to be as gory as humanly possible. This brings out some imaginative scenes full of gleeful violence and horror.
And be careful where you point that thing. You'll blow your own face off.
Infected people attack victims and become targets for all sorts of weapons. The latter includes a machine gun that Rose McGowan's character attaches to her leg. On the acting side, there's also Quentin Tarantino playing one of the most despicable villains ever. Director Robert Rodriguez brings exploitation films into the modern era with this bloody adventure.
I'm sorry, but I lied. I did want to hurt you.
Number 7, Piranha 3D. Bringing this series into the 21st century, Piranha 3D doesn't waste any time in giving the people what they want. The filmmakers start with a nod to Jaws and an earthquake.
Boy, that's a fast.
From then on, viewers know that they're not in store for any ordinary horror movie. Prehistoric piranhas completely take over Spring Break, leaving absolute pandemonium in their wake. Nothing is sacred as the fish create bloodshed in one excessive kill after another.
There are thousands of them. Thousands. And they're pissed.
With complete chaos taking over, the special effects team work overtime to keep up with the destruction. You even get to see the titular creatures tear through somebody's body in yet another exaggerated death, but we'll let you witness the full extent of that on your own time. It's nearly non-stop violence, never slowing down the entertaining journey.
Can you do this? Better believe it. I don't pole dance for nothing.
Number 6, Society.
You know the schedule. First we dine, then copulation.
After hearing a disturbing tape, Bill Whitney begins to suspect that his wealthy family are up to no good. A series of mysterious deaths lead up to the revelation that his home hosts a deadly and debaucherous gathering.
It's a pretty busy week, don't you think?
While there's questionable acting and bizarre sights before the end, the final scene completely goes so overboard we can't even show it in its entirety. The sequence includes all kinds of body horror that will keep you up at night. Partygoers feast upon a victim and end up morphing into unspeakably awful creations. You can't unsee some of these transformations, many of which seem to defy the laws of physics. Few horror films have such a ridiculous and surprising third act as Society.
You'll never get away with this.
Don't count on it.
Number 5, Dead Alive, aka Brain Dead.
This calls for divine intervention.
Before Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson directed all kinds of movies that include the insanely violent Dead Alive. A zombie virus takes over New Zealand in a horror comedy with a rat monkey. At one point, a swarm of infected come in contact with a lawnmower.
Party's over.
This could easily make a list of the bloodiest films ever for this scene alone. There's also loose body parts, treacherous graveyards, and a finale that defies description. The acting isn't exactly subtle either, with most of the actors leaning into the absurdity of every moment. Throw in some extra splatter, and you've got a memorable thrill ride.
Don't you touch her.
Number 4, House. A girl visits her aunt's haunted house with some friends. This could be the plot of any horror movie, but House isn't your average story. The film features some of the most eccentric twists and turns ever. This includes a group of quirky characters and many strange happenings at the spooky home. All kinds of household items come alive to attack the heroes, making for some hilarious and cheesy deaths. You could even call this a bizarro version of Beauty and the Beast at times. We didn't even mention the watermelon or a martial arts expert named Kung Fu. With some crazy editing, this adventure needs to be seen to be believed. Number 3, Videodrome. David Cronenberg's films are often filled with imaginative and horrifying images. Videodrome combines these two elements into a creepy experience you'll never forget.
It's just torture and murder. No plot, no characters, very, very realistic. I think it's what's next.
TV station president Max Wren discovers a foreign broadcast that shows all kinds of violence. This movie is filled with startling images that you can't look away from, pushing the limits of cinematic makeup. Cronenberg's trademark body horror even makes an appearance through hallucinations that boggle the mind.
I want you to go into my bedroom, and I want you to take a look at what's in my bed. Uncover it, don't be shy, I want pictures.
The initial plot might seem far-fetched, but then it gets even crazier when the villains reveal their plan to warp people's minds. The shocking ending, which we won't spoil here, only solidifies the outlandish and far-reaching ideas of this movie.
I don't know where I am now. I'm having trouble finding my way around.
Number 2, The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
I'm the spider, and I'm sleeping in the Rambler. I mean it.
Using a cliched setting, the writers of this horror comedy play with the tropes of the genre. What starts as a satirical view of scary movies quickly takes an unexpected turn. Discovering the origins of the cabin, the heroes find out that they're inside an elaborate conspiracy. The off-the-wall plot could easily make this whole experience insane, but it's only just beginning.
How to dismember that guy with the trowel. What have you been up to?
There's also several monsters that make an appearance in one of the more violent climaxes ever. This doesn't even count the ending, which deals with the fate of the entire world. Unafraid to take things to the extreme, The Cabin in the Woods completely subverts expectations.
You can die with them, or you can die for them.
Gosh, they're both so enticing.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Freddy vs. Jason. This outrageous showdown throws the horror rulebook out the window.
How is that possible? Anything is possible now. God, you just don't get it.
Oh god, y'all two killers, we're not safe awake or asleep. It's not the sleep that's killing us, it's our dreams.
Gremlins 2, The New Batch. This sequel gets so crazy that it features Leonard Maltin and Hulk Hogan.
People pay good money to see this movie. When they go out to a theater, they want cold sodas, hot popcorn, and no monsters in the projection booth. Do I have to come up there myself? Do you think the Grimsters can stand up to the Hulkster?
Slither. James Gunn doesn't hold back on scares or humour as a parasite terrorizes South Carolina.
That's kind of negative.
Well, it's been that sort of day.
Thanksgiving. A killer turkey wreaks havoc in a low-budget and shameless slasher.
There's no such thing as an evil turkey. There's
no such thing as an evil turkey. Oh, wait. I lied.
An American Werewolf in London. From body horror to dark comedy, John Landis's film is nothing short of extra.
Are you all right now?
I don't know. I'll let you know the next full moon.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Evil Dead 2.
Hey, what do you say we have some champagne, huh, baby? Huh?
Call it a sequel or a remake, but this horror movie really goes for broke. It's scary, funny, and surprising in almost every way. Ash and his girlfriend Linda hang out at a cabin, but things turn sour as the heroes find themselves fighting off evil forces. This includes scenes where the protagonist has to fight off his own severed hand.
Get me back my hand!
With the camera flying everywhere, the filmmakers fill this adventure with manic energy. Actor Bruce Campbell does some of his best work in one of the most expressive and out-of-control performances ever.
Swallow this.
With Sam Raimi at the helm, Evil Dead 2 is so over the top that it feels like a cartoon. But in a good way, of course. Did we forget an outrageous horror movie? Let us know in the comments below.
And now the game is over.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.